Hi to all those seeking vibrant health. It's Dr. Rachel Northern, Family Wellness Chiropractor here in Johnsburg, Illinois. And my topic today is talking about meditation. So tranquility, meditation for the soul. Also the mind and the body is very beneficial. So we're going to start off talking about the definition of meditation. So I picked this topic. I do not know exhaustively about meditation myself, but I do know that it's a good practice. There's a lot of benefits of it, and we're going to talk about that in the next screen. So meditation defined, though, like what is meditation? So just looking up in the dictionary, it says to engage in contemplation or reflection. So just sometimes meditation is just thinking inside your brain, like meditating over or certain things, and we're going to go into the things that are good to meditate on. Also, to engage in mental exercise such as concentration on one's breath or repeating a mantra, which is a certain word that you want to repeat that brings you peace and comfort, and or for the purpose, for reaching heightened level awareness. So let's go on to the next thing. So there's tons of research. This is why I want to talk about this particular topic, because meditation has shown studies of benefits of mental, reversing depression or anxiety, but also affecting the physical body, reducing IBS, irritable bowel disease, also fibromyalgia, psoriasis. So some people believe psoriasis is due to stress, so mental stress in some cases, and that elevates your cortisol levels, some irritation hormones in your body, and that can cause skin irritation, believe it or not. So we talked about the anxiety and depression, and also PTSD. Some people have seen the benefits of teaching people with PTSD to meditate has helped overcome their symptoms tremendously. So we're going to talk about 6 ways to meditate this morning. The first one is focusing on your breath. So just taking time, and we've talked about this in previous videos, of just taking time and paying attention to how you're breathing. Are you really shallow breathing? Are you stress breathing? Or are you just, using your diaphragm, breathing deep and low? So that's what I talk about in here is, how deep and low can you hold your breath? So how long, how deep, how low in your diaphragm? Can you reach all those little surfaces of your lung in the bottom there? So nice deep breaths. Also, can you let your breath flow? Are you forcing your breath? Can you make it go in like waves, like the ocean? Thinking about in and out, in and out. So I've had people talk about just they had trouble falling asleep, and if they just focused on their breath and breathing in and out for a minute, a lot of times the next thing they know, they're asleep. So it is a very beneficial thing to just meditate by focusing on your breath. The second topic out of the 6 is gratitude. So stopping and paying attention, paying attention to your breathing, but also paying attention to your environment. So are you paying attention to beauty? A lot of times as I'm driving into work, I'm driving past farmers' fields and the sun is coming up, and I just look out and just say, wow, how beautiful the sky is. How much do we in our society today just don't stop and smell the roses, as they say, or pay attention to the flowers? Even the weeds sometimes are very beautiful, the dandelions. Do we stop and appreciate that beauty and meditate on that beauty? Also paying attention to smells around you, positive smells, good smells. What smells do you enjoy? And even maybe bringing some of that into your home to lift your spirits, and paying attention to how those smells affect your body. So we get a lot of compliments. We have essential oils that are vaporized in our office, and we get so many compliments of people coming in and saying, oh, it smells so good in here. And that's part of this environment. I want this to be a peaceful, tranquil environment. So part of that is the smell. That's one important part of your nervous system, part of what we receive as data, and there's a lot of research on that and how it can affect your mood. So paying attention to your smell. also just, like I said on here, breeze. And I myself, when I'm going for a walk, or sometimes I'm just going outside, I have chickens, so I'm going to let the chickens out, and then there'll be a nice breeze coming out, and I kind of stop and feel it on my skin. Or when I'm on vacation, when I feel like the warmth of the ocean breeze coming off on me, and the smell of the salt also, but just feeling that on my skin, and how I just like love how it just feels on my skin. So have you taken time and paid attention? And sometimes right now we're in cold climate where I'm at, and sometimes just the briskness on your skin, and paying attention to how that makes you feel. Does it make you feel awake? Does it make you feel alive? Or do you want to retreat and run in and then experience the warmth on your skin? So pay attention to how those different sensations make you feel, and interpret those for yourself, and what makes you feel good and what makes you feel not so good. Creation, so creating something. So look inside to see what you can create. That's another way of meditating. I have a friend that's an artist, and her way of meditating is she paints beautiful works, and she just kind of looks inside, and these beautiful works of art come out, and it's amazing. So, paint, you can paint, even if you don't think you have a skill like my friend that's the artist. I have a meditation coloring book, and that just helps me kind of get the stress out of my mind, and just kind of focus on the colors and what I want to put on the page, and it's very helpful. Or craft it. A lot of people are into the glitter or the cutting, or are creating different things with paper or other materials. And so craft it. If you have something that comes in your mind, go ahead and do it. And it's so awesome when we can bring something in our mind and bring it to life in the real world. So, and it's just rewarding, and also gives you that boost. So another way is just concentrating. So when I've done yoga classes and done meditation classes, we've a lot of times went through where you start from the furthest away from your body, and pay attention to what the tips of your toes feel like, and contract them and relax them, and go all the way up slowly with each muscle and each joint of your body, and go all the way up to the top of your head. And it's pretty amazing how you could spend 30 minutes or more just going through slowly, evaluating and where your body is, and tension, and just paying attention, concentrating, and drawing attention to certain areas of your body. And does one area feel tight, one feel achy? And if you draw attention to there and think about healing thoughts in those areas, does it relieve and change? I've had that benefit of doing that myself, where I've done that, focused on that, focused my mind onto relaxing a muscle, and it relaxes. It's pretty amazing how our mind does control all these things. And then also we talk about chakra awareness. Again, this is not an expert in this field. They say we have different chakras, energy sources in our body, and there's certain ones that resonate with certain types of thoughts and emotions, and playing into that, being aware of where you might be a little restricted in those chakras as well. And that's something you can research yourself, or go to a class and find out more about that. So 5, love, meditating and thinking about love. And so, love is kind of a hard thing to grasp, this feeling. I follow Brene Brown. I really like her, and she's a researcher on shame and other things that people don't like to talk about. And when she would talk in these conferences, she'd say, does anybody talk about love? And nobody, raised their hand. She goes, how many people would live without love, want to live without love? And nobody, raised their hand. It's a very important topic that we need to address, and focusing on, looking at others and seeing what we love about others, not in a way of envy, but of appreciation, of reflection of ourselves, but also sending love to others. And sometimes it's maybe the person you don't like, so you can maybe like them a little bit better. Forgiveness and letting go. They say that unforgiveness weighs you down, and it poisons you more than it poisons the other person. So staying with that, making sure that you're letting go and letting some of these emotions mess with you, your soul, your body, all your mind, all that is affected. And also, how much do you love yourself? Also, Brene Brown says you cannot love someone more than you love yourself. So if you don't have self-respect and self-love, they say you can't extend that to others. So have you meditated on that? Do you love yourself? How do you express love to others? And kind of evaluate that, meditate that on, take time for you to do that. So the last is 6 is acceptance. Trust what is. So many people believe there is a higher power, and I believe that myself. And just surrendering sometimes that we are not in control, and we have to surrender and let things go and let things flow. Even though we want to control things, I myself I'm a recovering control freak, and so it's hard for me sometimes to release control. But I've realized there's so many things that it's impossible for me to control. So putting my energy there is a waste of my resources and a waste of my time. And the more that I trust something higher than myself, that everything's going to work out, the better my life is, the more tranquil my life is. And so, can you accept that? Can you move into that place of acceptance? So those are the 6 ways I've discovered in meditation. As a chiropractor, how I bring this into practice is, the benefits of chiropractic with meditation. So when there's a subluxation, that's our word of interference in the nervous system via the spine or other ways in the body, there's a restriction, there's pressure on the nervous system. The nervous system controls everything in our body, the brain, the spinal cord, the nerves. And so one way, the most obvious way most people come to us for is pain. So if there's interference in the nervous system, we have pain. It's very hard to meditate if you're in pain. It's hard to pull yourself away from that pain. So we can help eliminate that as chiropractors. Also, sometimes when you're out of alignment, you can't actually feel as much. So there's one where you're feeling too much with pain, and there's places where you might not be feeling at all. Some people say you're numbed out, or you might actually feel like nerve numbness. That is one way we can restore that balance, restore that flow. Another way is when we restore the balance, we have more mental clarity and focus. There's a book, really good book, called The Reality Check by Dr. Heidi Havlik. And she's a researcher. She's done a bunch of things on chiropractic, and talks about how we experience the world through our nervous system. And us as chiropractors, we make sure that you are communicating as much as possible, optimally functioning, so that you can experience the world at its best. And if you've got any restrictions anyway, that's going to inhibit how you're interpreting the world. So therefore, you can't meditate as well. So that's how I can help you if you have trouble with meditation. And obviously, we can help with pain and restoring all these other functions. But I'm very blessed that all I do is restore the body's natural resources, and the body heals itself and restores itself back into balance. So if you have any questions, you can always contact me through the website, thedoctorandyou.com. We always have videos on YouTube on different topics, so look at those other topics that I have on my YouTube channel. It's actually on YouTube. It's Dr. Rachel Northern, I believe. And my book, also Journey to Vibrant Health, is on Amazon. That has all different kinds of tips on how you can live healthier lives. So thank you for joining me today, and have a great one.